Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 35 of the Interplanetary Voyage of Exploration. And in the previous episode we have finally gone interplanetary by sending a probe to Eve. And this is this Eve probe. And the plan for it is to gather high altitude, high above Eve and low above Eve data. And after that, to actually go and visit Gilly. After visiting Gilly, it should return eventually from Eve back to Kerbin. And that is supposed to happen in 1 year and 148 days. I really didn't want sending fragments of the science rather than returning the whole thing. Since we play with Adios Tech Tree, we will need every bit of science we can get. So now we're planning basically plane change that would align us with Gilly. And we're setting the flight computer to actually execute the maneuver. Some of the parts I will be skipping and some of them I will be accelerating because no need for you to see 95 examples of burns. So, yeah. Okay, and now we are burning at the descending node to be able to align the plane with Gilly. So we're doing the plane change. Okay. And our timing delay is 18 seconds, which kind of more or less requires us to use flight computer, because anything more than 2-3 seconds, it's not really playable from the gameplay perspective. So, okay, now the idea is to reduce the periapsis, to lower the periapsis to the point where we will be collecting low Eve science. However, if you'll observe the Kerbal alarm clock, that's supposed to happen in 6 days. And in the meantime, we have another 2 maneuver nodes as performed by probe 1 and probe 2. So right now, first we have to first we will actually do the burn. Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. So that burn is supposed to happen in 6 days. So now let us go to the nuke probe 1, the jeweler, the one that will be going towards Joule. Gather some solar particle analysis experiment and store it for future use. When we return to Kerbin, hopefully we will be able to retrieve this science with us. And it's repeatable experiment, so we don't lose anything by actually performing the experiment. Okay, then the plan is we have 286 meters per second burn, so we just ask the craft to point itself maneuver prograde and execute the maneuver node that's supposed to happen in 2 days. Okay. So let us just time accelerate until the point where we get to the maneuver node. And there we go. Alright. So our maneuver node will execute in 1 minute 55 seconds. So, and we will be keeping an eye on the map mode on Joule to see how will it perform, how will our orbit look like after the burn. By the way, most of this episode is at 2.5 times acceleration, because all of these burns with this low delta V take some significant amount of time. So I figured. And besides, I was playing 12 frames per second, which means it's better for you to actually see stuff. Now, back to our Eve probe. I did also the second burn off camera, just for the reasons no really need for you guys to basically see the another same burn from the second probe. Now we're executing maneuver to lower the periapsis. It's currently 550, and the point is to get that around, I think it's below 200. I think it's maybe 160 or something. 150, yeah. Okay, delete the maneuver node. And now we actually have to get to the periapsis, and the goal is to lower at the periapsis burn to lower the apoapsis so that it roughly intersects Gilly's path. So eventually we do get encounter with Gilly. So that's kind of the plan. Creating a maneuver node. Okay, that's it. And all of these burns which we're doing at periapsis will not have the connection to the KSC, so might as well book them in the flight computer. Hold maneuver prograde, and then we will be executing the node. We would want first to orient the craft basically, but it doesn't play a big role anyway. Okay, and closing up on Eve. This time we'll be passing to Eve closer than ever. Yeah, stabilizing, and we have some science. So gravity scan, magnetometer scan, multispectral analysis, orbital telescope, RPWS, and temperature scan, because temperature is a new science that we can actually get from low Eve orbit. Okay, and we come to the place where we're supposed to execute the planned maneuver. Oh, and our electric charge is dropping, but fortunately we have again got into the sunlight, which means our electric charge is back to normal. Great. Oh, this is a beautiful sight. That's a screenshot in itself. We're watching the Kerbal rise behind Eve. Okay, burning to lower the apoapsis. Alright. And we have some more science above Eve's midlands. And then again against highlands. By impact ejecta, whatever that is. I guess it's a new one of the newer biomes. By the way, on this probe I have forgotten to actually take the scan set. Oh dear. Dang it! Our battery has short-circuited, and I only have one battery here, which means our electric charge is now 10. I mean, we still do have and maintain connection to the KSC, and we can steer our craft and everything, but when it comes to... I was thinking of sending some of the science back to Kerbin. Beautiful view, by the way, but still. We're actually receiving 1 science per cent packet instead of 20. Oh, in that case I'm not gonna be sending because I'm losing science. No. Whew, what shall we do now? I mean, if our battery is messed up, I mean, I have to check if I can still burn. I need to think. This is really disturbing. Yeah, battery has short-circuited. And also, one of our generator has aged in one of our joule probes. But then again, we have multiple generators, so we don't have to worry about it. But lesson learned, guys. If you're playing with Dangit and you're carrying only one battery, you should probably double up. So, I need to clear my head. So, I actually decided to upgrade our orbital refueling station and add some science part that we have actually unlocked in the previous episode for the station science, so that we will be able to perform experiments in the low carbon orbit and also get some science for it, because it will actually take quite a while until we get science results from Eve or anywhere else for that matter. So yeah, so we're creating an Orbital Lab 1. Okay, double the batteries, probe core, docking port RCS, and I'm actually gonna put the tower here. But this time it won't be a communication tower as it was previously, but this tower is supposed to be docking place for our SSTO, the one that we ran in the episode 23, the Bifrost. So for that one we need a docking port, because the plan is that this orbital station will be in low carbon orbit, holding the big experiments that we can execute, like the science lab, zoology bay, and facilities necessary for research. And the SSTO's task will be to take the science experiments from Kerbin, go to this orbital laboratory, and we will, by the way, flip this lab upside down, because I expect the whole station part to be upside down once we actually dock with the refueling station. So, that being said, I was saying, so the SSTO will come, it will dock with its docking port containing a ready-made experiment, and it will stay in low carbon orbit connected to dock to the station until the experiment is complete. Once when it is complete, it will take the results back to the Kerbin for some sweet science. So this is the way we can actually have a purpose for using both the station and for SSTO as an efficient way to get there. The only thing that I'm currently concerned is how will this SSTO have enough delta V to actually get and dock to the station, but we will be tackling that problem when we will be launching it. I'm thinking another set of docking ports here. The senior docking ports I'm using for the station parts that we would be connecting for the orbital science, but the smaller docking ports will be for maybe additional craft that come and just maybe resupply or something. And speaking of resupply, we actually will need some food and water, because here we will have crew. So I haven't played much with the crew when it comes to going to space, so we will actually need to stock up on resources. So actually I'm thinking this is actually an ideal place to be putting them, and just put the docking port on them, because then it will be easy and efficient to transfer the supplies. Okay, so we need additional some lights, because when we are docking you don't want to be docking in the dark, and with my luck I'm always docking in the dark. Okay, then we need some power generation. We will need some solar panels, I guess. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything saying how much power does this require. Probably let's just kite it with a metric crap ton of solar panels, and I think we should be fine. We do have 2 Gigantors on that station, but we will need power generation for also the transfer and stuff. And here I'm also thinking of putting Kerbal attachment system for the spare parts, because we saw, guys, what happens. Battery short circuits, RTG goes out, you ran out of fuel or ran out of something. So I really want to stock up on backup supplies so that if something happens, we can just EVA a Kerbal, replace a solar panel, connect the pipe endpoint to maybe another refueling craft if all the docking ports are taken, or if the craft doesn't have a docking port, etc. So I'm just trying to anticipate possible failures with the station, because we saw that the failures are happening, and yeah, dang, it is giving us hard time. But that's kind of the point. I mean, that's to be expected, some small maintenance stuff. Otherwise it would be just too easy. Now wouldn't it? Okay, let's put Communitron, because we will actually need it when we will be launching the craft. And now let's look for some nice solar panels. I actually like the curved ones that were extending, that were looking like a ring. I'm trying to find those. I think it's those. Yes, it's those, definitely. So, oh, and this would be covering over each other. No, let's put them down there then. We don't want them intersecting. Yeah. Okay. So we'll create a small ring of solar panels around. I mean, even if just for fun's sake. And here we're putting our mystery machine. Some of you might know this mod, some of them might not, but yeah. It's very effective if you really need to very quickly disassemble the station for any reason. So, okay, custom 1 solar panels. Come on, once again. Custom 1 solar panels, please. And we want to toggle solar panels, not to extract or, yeah. Okay. And then we have 4 of these small ones that are always on, just to make sure that we don't run out of electric charge. Custom 2, we have our Communitron. And I believe that's it. Is there anything we were missing? Yeah, some lights, obviously. Well, we don't want too many lights, because then we will be hitting the part count. And it's 48 parts, so it's not that much. But then again, let's simulate the vessel in the orbit. See how it behaves, right? Okay. And let's just quickly extend the... Oh, and this ring looks pretty cool. Wow, but this generation is abysmally low. Still, it's like full circle, so it's kind of cool. I actually like the, at least for design purposes, if for nothing else. Lighting, it seems to be well lit. Well, not too well, but well enough. Okay. Okay, and now we are looking into some more solar panels, because I think those are too small for comfort. Oh, and now I've resetted my containers. Oh, well. Oh boy, I have to put them again. Okay, just adding stuff that I previously wanted from the utility box. And a little bit rechargeable batteries, some photovoltaic panels, etc. And time to put the big solar panels above, just to make sure that we have enough electric charge to actually perform the experiments, which I think will be fine. We need an SAS unit, and we need some RCS thrusters. Now I was thinking like that. But that doesn't actually look good, so I'm gonna put them here. Let's just move this remote tech antenna and put another set somewhere along these lines here. I think this will be much better. Okay, now to offset them so we don't get any rotation effect, so that it will be easier to dock with the Existing space station, great. Yeah. And now to put time to put fairings and wrap this bad boy up. Yeah, I think this should work. So 3.75 extended will be fine. Okay, fairings are complete, just double checking staging. And make sure not to push the red button. At some point I will show you what this red button does, but then again, trust me, you don't want to be shown yet. Okay, so KW rocketry, we don't have the largest 3.75 meter tank, so we have to use two smaller ones. Let's put this bad boy up for as an engine. It's 1.45, which is good enough. However, delta V is 4.8, so I want a little bit more. So I will be putting, instead of boosters, solid boosters, we'll be putting liquid fuel boosters. And I actually like the ones, oh, by the way, RCS we need to put, yes, by all means. And hydraulic manifold, we need just two. I think we will be fine with two. This is the liquid tank that I like. It gives the rocket a little bit like Soviet feeling. Yeah, I really like it, by the way. Really looks nice. Okay, I was thinking first putting skippers, but I think we will be needing mainsails. Okay, and our thrust to weight is 2.09, which is more than enough. Also fuel lines to improve our delta V. Struts for stability. It's usually handy to actually do something else while you're trying to meditate what to do with the actual our Eve probe. And yeah, I think I have come with some sort of the decision. I think I will actually put it in the orbit below. I don't think we would be visiting Gilly. I think I'll just wait for the transfer time and actually just return it. So let us just quickly simulate this rocket. I just want to test that staging works and then the thrust to weight is sufficient after the stage. So we'll not be doing much of the simulation, just, you know, basic sanity check. And it really looks beautiful. I actually like how it looks sleek with this, like, especially when you mix expanded fairings together with these liquid fuel tanks. Okay, stage, and we have 1.32, which is not too much, but it's still more than enough to keep us going up. I'm happy with the simulation. I do not think that we need to investigate much more because we will be launching it anyway. Okay, so yeah, just saying yes, and the apoapsis can go above 55, and it will go definitely. Delta V wise, I expect it to have enough, but yeah, we'll just find out. Okay, that being said, let's put this craft to building. Build the vessel. Perfect. So, back to our probe. And the suggestion is, basically I will just put it in the lower orbit, as indicated here, lower the apoapsis and a little bit more circular, so that it will be easier to eject back from Eve when our actually time comes. We already have Eve to Kerbin transfer window in 1 year and 128 days. Until it comes back, we will be focusing on other missions, and probably at the next window we will send another probe that will hopefully offset, and I plan to scan the scan set anyway, and I'll just put some additional experiments on it. Because we'll be doing them on Gilly. Okay, now doing the burn to actually lower the apoapsis, because I never thought that I would be I thought to burn first at the periapsis, but then again I messed up because I didn't send the signal early enough, so we didn't have connection. Now in apoapsis, just raise the periapsis a bit. Yeah, and I think it should be somewhere along, well, it doesn't need to be much, but 800, so we'll probably try to put orbit around 800 by something more. Okay, let's just do the burn. Executing plan maneuver. And we're burning. I was even thinking to actually send a rescue craft for this probe, but then again, we haven't started main missions yet. So, yeah, I'll think about it. Okay, that kind of... so final burn prepared here, which is kind of bringing us almost towards the end of the episode. I hope you like the episode, like if you like, and more Kerbal KSP content will be coming soon. Yeah, in the meantime, we can observe once more the probe with a short-circuited battery. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. This is GrunfWorks signing off from a busted probe.